Where did you get that idea?
Well, I know that you and Dad had your big argument the morning after Dad came home when the quarantine was lifted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know that the quarantine was officially lifted before midnight, Mother. So I think your argument was over the fact that Rick spent the night with another woman, and that's why you two keep telling me that it's deeply personal instead of just being honest with me.
When you're married, you can have deeply personal problems that aren't necessarily infidelity.
But when you told me that you and Rick were going to start sleeping in separate rooms, you said not to worry because it was the only way where you were going to work it out.
It was the only way I could see, yes.
So it has to be a sexual problem. That's the only thing that makes any sense to me. Or else you two would still feel comfortable sleeping together.
Honey, this is not a time to be worrying about all of this. Not with the day you have ahead of you.
All right, but Mother? Yes? Will you answer something for me? And will you remember the new policy of honesty that we have between us before you do?
Yeah.
Are you and Dad having problems in your marriage because Dad slept with another woman?
No. And that's the truth. I'm going to go upstairs and get the rest of my stuff or I'll be late for work.
I don't want to see it end up destroying both our lives. I mean, I've seen what it's done already with you and Leslie. And if Alan ever found out about that night, it would be the end of our marriage.
I knew about Dad and Monica before I even asked you, Mother. So this new honesty between us is just as one-sided as I thought it was.
Heather, I'm so surprised to see you. I would have thought that you would have just bolted the door as soon as Jeff got back from Hawaii.
Well, Jeff had to go back to the work at the hospital as usual.
Let me take your coat.
Thank you.
So, I bet everything is back to normal for the two of you now that he's home.
Oh, I don't know, Diana. You know, I am so glad Jeff's home, but he still hasn't told me why he ran off to Hawaii so suddenly.
Well, the important thing is that he's home, and he'll tell you everything when the time's right.
I know, Diana, but Jeff is my husband, and married people are supposed to share everything with each other.
Heather, married or not, people have problems that they have to kind of work through before they can share them with the other person, even though they may love the other person very, very much.
Yes, that's what Jeff keeps telling me.
Sure. I'm sure that you've had problems since you've been married to Jeff that you don't go right to him with until you can kind of, think through them.
Yeah, I guess so. How are you feeling?
Oh, fine, just fine.
You had any more of those, strange phone calls?
Yeah, I have, but I'd rather not talk about it, okay?
Well, Diana, I don't mean to bring up a sore subject, but I've really been worried...
Then don't. Please, okay?
Has it been the same man who kept calling for Peter and then hanging up?
Heather, I can see you're just not going to let me off the hook until I tell you. No, it's not. Since Peter's been home, it's been somebody else, and when I pick up the phone, whoever it is on the other end, just breathes very heavily.
Oh, no, Diana. Have you gotten many of them?
Yeah, I got 2 last night and 2 this morning.
Oh, Diana, that's awful. Do you think maybe it's the same man whose shadow we saw outside?
Heather, please, ever since you came up with that kidnapping plot, I've been trying to get it out of my mind. Just don't start me going again, please, okay?
All right, I'm sorry, Diana. But I really think that you should tell Peter about this, just in case it...
Peter hasn't said anything. But I know that he feels that I'm overreacting, and so do I. I'm sure I'm just getting a bunch of crank phone calls just like everybody else gets.
I hope so, Diana. But I don't blame you for being concerned about PJ. Now,
Heather! My baby is here, and he's safe with me.
But what if you go back to work?
Not if, I'm going to. I'm going to start back next week, part-time. I think it's very important that I feel useful and productive, and Peter also feels I should get out of this house for a few hours during the day.
I agree with that, Diana, but with everything that's been happening here, well, you wouldn't feel safe leaving PJ with anybody. I wondered if you talked to Peter.
Oh, hi, Maggie.
Oh, hi, Heather.
I was just about to tell Heather here how you're going to come back and work for us full time.
Where are your manners, PJ? Aren't you going to say hi to Aunt Heather? There she is.
I'm going to ask you one more time. Did you approach my daughter and say that you were Sam McDougal?
Dr. Weber, you've got this all wrong. Now, I didn't do anything. Your daughter, I'm sorry, but she came on to me.
You're lying, Mr. Proctor. Now, she would never have talked to you in a million years if she hadn't thought that you were the guy that called her.
Look, would you give me a break? I don't know anything about any phone call. I don't know anything about any Sam McDougal either. Is that okay?
No, it's not okay, because my daughter's whole future could ride on your story. Now, I want to know why you're lying.
Look! Now, you look. I have a respectable job in a respectable insurance firm, and I wouldn't have let you guys in here if I knew who you were when you called for that appointment.
Tell us the truth, and we'll leave.
Dr. Weber, I am telling you the truth. I think it's time maybe that you faced up to the fact that it's your daughter who's lying about what she's doing with her nights. Maybe
Say one more word and I'll leave you out. Rick, wait a minute. Now, getting into a fight now, that's not going to help Laura.
You're right, Scotty. We'll go, but I'm going to tell you something.
What's that?
I'm going to get to the bottom of this, and when I do, I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to see to it that you don't have a respectable job in this respectable office or any respectable fringe benefits that go with it. You understand that? That is a promise.
Jeff, Dory told me you'd been out of surgery all day.
Yeah, I'm on my way to 3 right now. I'll be there all day. Any word from Audrey?
Nothing, and I just called the house and asked Mrs. Ryan if she's heard anything, but she hasn't. And Steve has been calling all day looking for Audrey.
I assume, then, you haven't told Steve yet.
No. Steve is getting very suspicious. I don't have any more time. I've got to tell him something before the day is out. Jeff?
Well, so tell him, man. You're the big believer in the truth doesn't hurt theory, aren't you?
Jeff, I know I said a lot of things that day.
Wait a minute. Let me see if I can remember how it went. You have to accept what you can't control and be grateful that your life has been turned upside down. Isn't that how it went?
I don't think you understood what I was trying to say that day, Jeff.
Yeah, well, it isn't too hard to understand that kind of Pollyanna nonsense. It's just that I stopped believing in it when I was about 6 years old.
Still feeling sorry for yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, well, if I am, it's no skin off your teeth, is it?
What about Steve and Rick and your wife? How long are you going to make them suffer for the fact that they care about you so deeply? Think about it, Jeff, because that's exactly what you are doing.
Look, it's my life, Miss Logan. I'll run it the way I see fit, okay?
Jeff, all I wanted to do was help you.
Yeah? Well, you didn't. And you can't, okay?
Fine. But will you help me now, please? Help me tell Steve that Audrey has left with Tommy.
Sorry, you're asking the wrong person.
Okay, if you won't help me, and if you don't care what Steve's reaction is going to be, fine. But won't you do it at least for Audrey's sake?
Anne, I know how Audrey is hurting, and I feel sorry for her. But to tell you the truth, I don't blame her for taking off like that.
How can you say that? You didn't accomplish anything by running off there that night the quarantine was lifted and not even telling anybody.
Look, I don't blame her. Because if I had to live under the same roof with a know-it-all like you who has nothing better to do than to ruin other people's lives, I'd take off too.
That is not why she left, Jeff, and you know it. Something must have happened here last night when she came to visit Steve.
Ah, and whose fault was that, huh? Yours, I would imagine. Am I right?
Yes, but I thought perhaps they could work things out if she came and visited him.
Well, congratulations, Anne. You're batting 1,000. Whose life are you going to wreck next?
Jeff!
You know, I kind of feel a little sorry for you, Miss Logan. No life of your own, so you get your kicks by interfering with other people's lives.
You couldn't be more wrong.
Really? Think about it, Anne. You think about it on your way up to tell Steve that you botched his life up, too.
I don't know. It's hard to say, but Proctor was really shaking in his boots by the time your father got through with him.
Yeah, but he didn't say he was going to call up Mr. Higgins and change his story.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that he's not gonna.
Positive thinking, Laura. That's what's going to get you through the day.
Right.
And your ring as well.
Scotty told me earlier that since he can't be with me in Judge Stallman's chambers, all I have to do is look at my ring, and it'll be as though he's right there with me.
I will be. Every step of the way.
Hey, speaking of steps, the two of you better be taking a few out the front door if you expect to see Howard Lansing at 3.
You're right.
The day's been dragging by so slowly, and now all of a sudden it's time to go?
Laura, come on. Another hour, the whole thing will be over. And that's what you should be thinking about.
Okay.
Okay. It's good.
Everything's gonna be fine just as long as I have you with me and as long as I have my ring.
Hey, Scotty. How you doing? You remember me, Luke Spencer?
Yeah.
I'm taking a couple of classes here.
Luke, this is Laura Weber. Luke Spencer and my roommate, Brian Phillips.
Yeah. How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Well,
Nice to meet you too, Laura.
Thank you.
we should be going now. I'll see you, Brian.
Sure. Look, my good thoughts will be with both of you.
Thanks.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
She is beautiful, isn't she?
That she is.
She's even prettier than her pictures in the newspaper.
Hey, look, I gotta be going, so, I'll see you later.
Yeah. So long.
Lobby desk, Miss Spencer.
Hello. You waiting for the bomb to drop?
Luke, I'm so excited. I haven't been able to take my eyes off the clock all day.
That's a little wearing, isn't it?
Well, I did manage to give him a little rest. Long enough to watch the Webers bid farewell to little Laura before they take her kicking and screaming off to reform school. Boy, did they ever look scared.
Yeah, so did Laura.
How do you know?
Well, I saw her earlier today in the student union. She was there with Scotty and his roommate.
Brian. Anyway, did you give her my message?
No, I didn't give her your message. As a matter of fact, I felt kind of sorry for her. She was putting up a brave front, but I know she's worried
Luke, cut the hearts and flowers, okay? After all we've done to get rid of that little tramp, you're going to start feeling sorry for her?
Hey, look, I'm just telling you how I felt.
Well, I think whatever you've been using on your hair to keep it so neat is getting to your brain.
Well, the bartender's scared to death he'll lose his license, so we're not going to get him to change the story. I mean, Proctor's our only hope. Leslie.
Sorry. The thought that Laura's whole future is in the hands of some stranger who may very well not tell the truth. Wonder.
What would you rather say, that I think she's going to go in there and 10 seconds later she's going to come out free and clear?
Right now, I think, yeah, I would rather hear you say that.
Leslie, I know you're terrified. I am, too. But we can't let her see that. We have to give her support and strength, whatever happens.
I think you should know she believes that the problems that we're having are going to affect the judge's decision today.
You told her that's not true, didn't you?
Yes, I tried to. But we're probably going to have to appear before the judge. We did last time, and I sure better have some more
interesting answers for him than I had for Laura this morning.
What did she ask you?
She asked me point blank if the problems we were having stemmed from the night the quarantine was lifted, and if you had slept with another woman.
Why would she?
She said it was the only thing that made sense to her since we were now sleeping in separate bedrooms.
And what did you tell her?
That she was wrong. That you had not slept with another woman.
I wish you'd concentrate on that yourself, Leslie.
Whether or not you did, you wanted to sleep with Monica, and as far as we're concerned, that is the problem. I think we should get inside. I'd really like to be there when they arrive. Wait, Laura.
Okay, and Laura, the thing I want you to concentrate on is explaining to the judge why you didn't tell your parents or Scotty about that phone call, and why you left the house to go out and meet Sam McDougal at that bar. Right?
The only reason I really had, Mr. Lansing, was that I was too frightened to tell my parents, and I didn't want Scotty to see those letters.
Well, listen, Laura, then that's what you tell the judge, just that simply. All right, now, Laura, I'm hoping Judge Stallman will let me stay in the chambers while you give your testimony. But if he doesn't, don't let it throw you. Laura, he's a very fair and decent man who's been more than willing to give you a chance in the past.
I know. I just wish that you could be there with me. What are you looking at?
Laura, wait, I don't want you to get upset.
Scotty, that's the man. He's the man.
Okay, just don't even give him the satisfaction of a look.
He's here to testify against me, isn't he?
Now, Laura, I wasn't told who was going to be in there with the judge today.
Well, why else would he be here? And he's going to tell Judge Stallman the same lies he told Mr. Higgins, that Judge Stallman is going to believe him, just like...
No, he's going to believe you because you're telling the truth. All right? Now, don't think about that. Think about what's ahead. Think about our future. Okay? That's more important, right?
It's gone.
What?
It's gone, Scotty, it's gone.
Wait, what? What's the matter?
My ring. I lost it. Scotty, it's a sign. I know it is. It's a sign that Judge Stallman isn't going to believe me, and I'm never going to see you again.
No, don't get upset, Laura. Come on, please.